stress out about stuff is like a poison, it's like a cancer. And we all do that. We stress, even me. You know, I got to remind myself, relax, don't stress, you know, and all that stuff. So I went to Disney, and they're like, okay, well, you know, we heard stories that you were wild on the set and all. I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I took a few bites and, you know, disappeared and snowboarded and got lost. And, there's probably a few holes in the walls, you know. Me and Steve Cardenas got into a little bit of fun, and it turned into, like, you know, a little problem, which I was still smiling about it. So, but this guy was just asking all these questions, and I had to be really good, you know, because I didn't want to. I'll speak what I want, to be honest with you. I think that's the best way in life. So I was there, and he was asking me when I was 8. I'm like, I'm 30 now, Gary. I'm like, let me ask you a question. What did you do? I bet when Woodstock was around, I bet you were doing bad stuff, huh? And so like bumping me under the table, like, behave. And then he's like, well, that's fine. We'll bring you back to the show, but we need to audition you. And I was like, okay, dude, I'm about to leave. You want to audition me for the guy I created? Tommy is me, just a cleaner version. So you want me to audition? I said, you can pull any of my tapes, and I'm not going to jump through the hoops to, what else? You know, it was like I did them a favor. But it was actually nice to go back because all those kids really looked up to me, and they watched me growing up, and it was like a big thing going on set. Like, Jason, right, Tommy's going to be here. And, you know, so I was there. They're like, you know, when I started the show, it was nothing. So, you know, it was no big deal. But now Power Rangers is, you know, like this icon thing where, like, the older you get, the more classic it becomes.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yes.
and then, like, you know, Adam West and all these guys. You know, but I don't charge like Adam does. Someone say charge like $50 to do a handshake, and I don't really care. I mean, I did tell him what I thought in New York. You know, I was like, Adam, there's a new superhero in town. And he's like, all right, have a good day. Yes. Anyway, so yeah, but you know, that was the story. Which people bid on it. So like, if you guys were all stations, you would bid on this and say, well, I want to pay this and I want to pay that. Network is like, okay, you're all a network. Who's going to pay me the most to put this on around the world? So when it's 3, it will be 3 around the whole entire world. The thing is, Power Rangers has not turned syndicated yet, which means when it does turn syndicated, they're going to go into a room with 20,000 TV channels and say which one wants to buy what. So you'll see it on Channel 53 at 2 in the morning. You'll see it on this channel, that channel. That's why Nickelodeon and Fox is ran and Disney is a network. So it runs on the same thing. Just little, you know, complicated things. So my story to that is VR Troopers got lost in the ratings. They got lost, and you know, it became really nothing. But the girl in there, Sarah Brown, if you remember her, she was the producer Shuki Levy on Power Rangers. You know, did the you know, Inspector Gadget. He made all his money from that, and the Smurf song and a lot of stuff. So he made all his money. So he was the executive producer on the show. So he got this girl pregnant. And she was on the show, and you know, Sarah Brown has his baby, and you know, gets about $50,000 a month for child support, and you know, so I mean, I was gonna have a baby with him for $50,000. Favorite moment, the mistletoe. I did do a scene on the mistletoe. You're old enough for this. I did a scene on the mistletoe when we were filming. They were supposed to be under the mistletoe, and it's hanging over the door, and she's like, "Oh, Tommy, you know, under the mistletoe," and I was like, yeah. I just went like this and dropped my pants in the middle of the shot. And cut. Dude, what is wrong with you? I was like, what? I was like, it's a mistletoe. Is that what we're supposed to do? Like, kiss under the mistletoe. Oh, all right. Yeah, that was a really good moment. That was a good moment. Oh, another good moment I have is when I'm in an elevator and people recognize me, you know, and that won't say nothing. And I'll just usually have a watch. Usually I'll stand in the elevator and they're like, oh man, that's it. They're like, you know, what floor am I? All right. Can you push 6, please? I'm trying to teleport. I got it. I don't need you to push buttons.
That's great.
Okay? I mean, Saban, look, Haim Saban, if you're watching, you're a great businessman. I have no problems with you whatsoever. I would go back to the show for $1 for my fans. So let's make that clear. Okay, so it's an ego issue. All right? When I did did the Power Ranger karate workout videos, remember?
Right.
I had a cut of that. I had a pretty big percentage of that. So I did number 2, the White Ranger video. It was released. I had like 15%. It was going to go everywhere. I was like, cool. He got upset at me and pulled the videos from every entire market. And when he was asked, why'd you pull the videos? And he said, look, I'm a millionaire already. I ain't giving him more money. I'd rather lose millions than give this guy money. Okay. All right. My character became so popular on the show that I never misused my powers at all on that show. But what I did do was I thought it was important that the actors that were hired on the show to actually meet this who is this Haim Saban. They've worked. They've never met him. Okay? These guys are making, and they got paid garbage. All right? But they never met this guy. So I decided to be the good guy, to go into his office and tell him, look, you need to meet these actors. I mean, with us, it was such a new show. They bought us cars. They, met us, and I went to Haim's house. But once it became big and corporate, we've never seen him again. So the money, millions and millions and millions of dollars. The hot sauce. You want someone to eat the hot sauce for a free shirt, dude? Come on. All right. So the point.
That's his idea, but
yeah, it wasn't my idea. Anyway, I put a little hot sauce on my dog's tongue, and my wife's like, "What's wrong with that?" I'm like, "I don't know." What's wrong with your dog? Look at it. But so I decided I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to Haim, and I'm going to talk to him, and I'm going to tell him that he needs to meet everybody. Well, the conversation went wrong. I wasn't leaving the show. It wasn't. That's not what I went into there for. But I have morals, and I went in to talk to him about it, and it was like, I don't need to go. And I'm like, you do need to go. You need to pat him on the back, dude. This goes more than money. They will work harder for you if you get patted on the back. So I went to, well, I'll just pay you more money. I don't need cussing. I don't need this. I'll just pay you more money. I said, no, dude. It's not about paying money. I'm just telling you it's about pat on the back. So I just was like, I'm not a prostitute or anything like that. You can't just buy me. You need to, and that's how the conversation went. So I said, well, I'm done. He goes, you walk out of my office, I'm firing everybody if you leave. And he goes, that's on you. And so I was like, I just was done with it. You know what I mean? Like I had to prove a point to myself to say, it doesn't matter about money. It matters about what the morals and the points were of the story. So when I went, everyone ended up getting fired. Now, the Yellow Ranger that became Tracy, okay, she was an extra on the show, and she flirted with everybody, and she got in with Johnny, who's a really nice guy, and honest guy, and then she got with him, and they got married, and then she started seeing the Green Ranger from the show, so that's how she became the Yellow Ranger. She kind of dropped Johnny in a heartbeat, so I don't really like Tracy just for what she's done to Johnny, And Johnny was depressed, and he started playing an instrument, and God gave him the gift of saying, okay, now we're going to create iShine. So everything's meant to be for a reason, but when I left Turbo, it was that reason. Now, why I say I probably won't be on Megaforce is because they asked me to, but I'm not going to go around and promote them if I'm not on the show. If it's not a good role, what do I want to be on the show for? Billy was sweeping the command center, and I don't want to do that. If you're not a ranger, you're not. And so the point is, when a girl breaks up with you, right, and she calls you, you have to answer the phone, and if you know that, you need to answer the phone and say, hello, hey, look, I got bad news, I'm breaking up with you. So you feel better about yourself, right? You say, hello, oh, you're breaking up with me? Well, actually, I broke up with, no, you broke up with me. Oh. So it's the thing of me leaving him, and honestly, he's got billions and billions of dollars. I'm so popular that they're calling up the Saban and legal department to call me and say, look, you got to tell your fans, quit calling. I'm like, well, just do something for him then. You know what I mean? If I were you, I would put my ego aside, shake hands. I'm a businessman. He taught me how to be that businessman. I'm just not a cutthroat businessman. Take the Green Ranger, do a whole freaking new Dark Green Ranger series, and market it towards this age group. But it was one of those issues. And it doesn't matter one way or another. I put, like I said, faith, and God leads me where I want to go. And if he wants me to do that, I'll do it. But I want to make it clear to my fans that it has nothing to do with money. I would definitely do it for you guys. It shows you who has the ego problems. Because I'm the biggest draw there is to Power Rangers, and he knows it. And I'm promoting the franchise right now. So if he ever comes to me and tells me that I shouldn't do this and I couldn't do that, then I'm embracing the Power Rangers, and I'm just making him more money anyway. So it's not about that. So if you see me and I'm not back, it's because of that issue. it's sad to know that. You know what I mean? When someone has everything in the world and they're selfish and greedy like that, it will catch up to you. Saban will and cannot do any other movies in Hollywood. They don't want to work with Hein. Nobody does. That's why Hein left the business. Go see what he's done. If he's got billions of dollars, why not do movies? Because he can't. Not because he don't have the money. He can't. Nobody wants to work with him. You know? But I'm a businessman. I would definitely work for him, for you guys and for the fans. And you know, I think it's funny how he can't control my popularity. My fans love me. I love my fans, and you just can't control it. And that's probably what gets him even more mad. Everywhere he turns, he sees me. So why not use me? I have no issues. You know, one thing I learned in the Hollywood business, and I think if I would teach anybody, especially a younger guy, anything, I would teach you this. Business is business, and personal is personal. Once you interconnect those two chords in your office, anywhere else, you're going to have issues. I really feel that business is business. Me and Trey work on a business level. It's just business. But on a personal level, it's different. My instructor said this. You need to respect rank. I'm like, yes, sir, but I don't like that guy, you know, because he's done. You need to respect rank, but you don't need to respect the person. So when you're on my dojo floor, it's yes, sir, no, sir. I respect your rank, might not respect you as a person, but I don't interconnect those two chords. I train my staff that. You start dating a student, it's all messed up. It becomes a soap opera, you know. And and also you can do anything you want to do. It's just you got to put your mind to it. And no matter what says, who says what, that you can't do this and you can't do that, I say, bull. You know? Yeah. And I went to New York Comic Con against everyone's advice. New York Comic Con, they said I was never going to be a draw. There was too many stars. There was, you know, Adam West and Lou Ferrigno. I'm never going to be. My line was the biggest line in New York. It was 6 hours long. I had the hardcore fans, and to be honest with you, I was quite surprised. And I'll tell you about worrying. I worried about that trip. You know what I mean? I really worried about that trip. I told my wife, I'm, you know, buying my own stuff. I said, if I don't have anybody, babe, it's all right. We'll just, you know, tour the city. And when I got there, I didn't see nobody in my line, but they were lined up around the building. And I didn't know they were there for me, so when I walked up to my booth, I was like, oh, darn. And then they were like, wow. And then I started seeing all this Power Ranger shirt. I said, what's this line for? They said, that's for you. And the line just did nonstop. And that's the reason why I'm here at Wizard World, is the promoters saw it, and they said, wow, you do have a draw. And that's why I went against all, you know, agents, what's up, buddy? All agents and everything else that I thought, you know, it was just one of those things where sometimes you just have to step out in faith and believe. And it's so hard to step out in faith because it's invisible. It's like standing on top of a building and saying, hey, step out there, you're not going to fall. Sucker, no. As I talk, we can come up one at a time and I can just sign stuff, you know what I mean? You know, just we'll start with this table. I can still talk. Yeah, just kind of come right here. But yeah, you know, I try to teach people that kind of stuff. But I don't sit up here and think that I'm the best or better than anyone else, because I'm not. I think people get along with me and they realize that, look, depression happens with everything. I get depressed, I get angry, I get sad, I get, you know, these are things that everyone deals with. When people look at me and they say, whoa, man, you got a world record and you're a karate master, is there anything else you can't do? I just try to do what I can, but I'm like you guys. I'm human. I get depressed, I get upset, you know, and that's why when that Facebook guy took his life, it really got me. Because I taught this kid on Skype. You know what I mean? He looked up to me, and it was just, there's a lot of people that look at Facebook as a business. I don't. But you take care of me anyway. There's a lot of times where it says no pictures, no this, no that. I don't put pressure on my fans. They just do it anyway. You know? Then if you put pressure on them, hey man, you can't shake my hand because it's X amount of dollars. No. You know what I mean? You guys, and I think that's why I'm so blessed with over 105,000 Facebook fans. You know what I mean? Why? It's because I put time into it. I talk to you all. I don't pay someone to do it. I talk to you all. You know what I mean? And I try.